Jadi insyaAllah para jemaah sekalian, tanpa kita buang masa, insyaAllah kita akan masuk ini kepada soalan ini pertama yang ditujukan pada hari ini. Maka soalan yang menanyakan, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Waalaikumsalam. My name is Muhammad Haziq. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I'm writing this question to ask you. Why can't my friend, a female, get a divorce with her abusive husband? She no longer lives with him, nor does he give any nafaqah. Doesn't that mean that they are allowed to be divorced already? It will fall into the talaq category. I'm sorry to ask this question because I have to admit I'm not very religious. I know a lot about Islam, but it's just that I don't know much about marriage in Islam. Even the Sharia court denied that she could divorce, and now she has to do fasakh, which she has to wait a minimum of 2 years. She wants to have no connection whatsoever with her husband because her husband is aggressive and beat her up if she does not comply. She is a wonderful person at heart, mashallah, but her husband is a problem. They tried to solve this issue for around a year before she got completely tired of him. She has been warded around 3 to 4 times in the hospital due to her being beaten up badly by the husband. The police said they have nothing to do with their issue as they are husband and wife, but I thought police were also responsible for domestic abuse. I have no idea. I tried helping her well over 6 months now, and as for now, the court is not solving the issue at all. She just wants freedom. Please help her by replying to this question so that I can further discuss with her. She now has a mental disorder called PTSD, MDD, and bipolar. She just wants freedom. Please help her. Thank you so much. Basically, this question is asking about a wife that is being abused by the husband to such an extent that she has the fear to return back into the house, and they have not been living together for some time, and the fact that the husband also does not give any nafaqah and causing any injury to her, both physically and also mentally, and the fact that she has been warded a few times in the hospital due to the beating up. Before I speak about some of the rulings in Islam pertaining to this issue, but what I want to say is that this is a serious case. This is not any normal domestic issue between any husband and wife. And I do not know how come the police did not take any action for such cases. Wallahu alam. It is right for her to report to the police, and if it comes into a state where the husband is causing any serious abuse to her. Even in Islam, it is haram for a husband to beat up the wife in a sense of beating up where blood is being spilled or cause any severe injury and cause mental disorder and so on and so forth. In Islam, it is any haram. It is not any permissible. And likewise, in law, whether we are speaking about Islamic law or law of the land that we are living in, the fact is then it is not any permissible. There are serious punishments for those who abuse or cause any abuse, whether abuse to the spouse or abuse to other people. So in terms of the law, what I understand is that even in the normal courts of our country, they will attend to such cases. I am speaking based on my experience as a police officer. I was a police officer during my national service. And I basically they call it the MPCO, where we patrol the streets and we attend to cases. And there are cases like this, for example, husband very abusive and so on and so forth. So let me explain to you based on my experience as a police officer. Maybe the law change, but I don't think it will change that much. So back then it was in 2000, 2003, 2004. We attend, for example, to cases where the wife is beaten up by the husband seriously badly, for example. So usually in Singapore, what they do is they will give the person a form to bring the form to the doctor. So it is a doctor that will ascertain what are the damages that has been done. So when she goes into the doctor will explain in that form that this is damage number 1, damage number 2, damage number 3. So she can bring that form, for example, to go to court and inform the judge, or go to the Sharia court and inform the judge that my husband beaten me up, and this is the letter from the doctor. At least the judge will know that this is a serious offense. And for your information, in Singapore, everyone who gets married, most of them read the ta'liq. They call it the ta'liq talaq, where the husband after marriage will read these few phrases where he says that if I leave my wife for more than 4 months, and or I cause any injury, serious injury to her, and she complains to the magistrate, one talaq has been placed upon the husband. So I am a bit confused as to why the victim here that she went to court according to your question, but the court did not attend. I do not know. Usually any such cases, such extreme cases where if you have any evidences, for example, and you go to the Sharia court, they will entertain you. They will entertain you, and if they see this is a serious case and so on, they either it is a talaq based on ta'liq on what is spoken by the husband after the marriage, or the judge the magistrate himself can give a talaq or fasakh. When it comes into fasakh, and you mentioned here in your question minimum of 2 years, what based on my understanding, fasakh in amla is 6 months. Fasakh in amla is 6 months, but of course it depends on the judge whether to give fasakh or not give fasakh. He has to study the situation and so on and so forth. So this is the thing. What the woman is suffering, and if it is a genuine case, if she go to the right sources and explain correctly, and especially if she has any evidences, for example, I don't think the Sharia court or even the normal courts will take this matter. And likewise, she is saying that she is not given any nafaqah, for example, if she's not given nafaqah when she was with the husband and so on, and if she can prove with evidences, and this is important, and if she has any evidences about such abuse or such things, then what I would advise, she should go to Sharia court and explain to them properly. Wallahu alam, maybe she does not explain properly, maybe there is a misunderstanding and so on and so forth. So this is the thing. So basically, my advice is to get help. And now she is suffering from all this mental disorder and so on. So she is in need of help. Somebody must help her. So somebody need to help her and to channel her to the correct channels, and not only Sharia court, but also she is in need of counseling, or she is in need of financial help, for example. So somebody has to help her out, because the way I look at the how you mentioned in this question, I can imagine that this is a serious case, and that has to be solved, and somebody has to help her to find the solution. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help her, inshallah. All of us we make dua. So Islamically, and of course, as what I mentioned, I hope it is clear, inshallah, that it is not right for the husband to do such. It is haram for the husband not to give nafaqah, to give harm to such an extent that she has to go to the doctor. All this is not permissible, but it occurs in our society. So it has got nothing to do with Islam. Some people they are violent, for example, they have a bad past, and they are violent towards the spouses, violent towards their children. It is their problem. Their psychological problem, the problem of the upbringing. Islam has got nothing to do with the actions that they are doing. So I hope it is clear, insyaAllah. Sekarang insyaAllah kita pergi kepada soalan yang kedua, menanyakan soalan menanyakan, Assalamualaikum Ustaz. Waalaikumsalam. Suami saya administrator untuk harta peninggalan arwah bapaknya. Harta dibagi mengikut hukum faraid. Mereka ada 6 beradik, tetapi share untuk abang dia yang terlantar di hospital, suami saya yang simpan. Abang suami ada 2 anak lelaki. tetapi tidak dapat dihubungi. Bila abang suami meninggal, baru 2 anak lelaki dia muncul. Persoalan saya, bagaimana mengurus simpanan arwah abang suami? Haruskah dibagi pada anak arwah abang untuk menguruskan, ataupun suami saya yang menguruskan pembahagiannya? Soalan ini menanyakan berkenaan dengan seorang yang meninggal dunia dan dia meninggalkan beberapa yang ahli waris. Dan dia menanyakan di sini, suami yang wanita ini, suami wanita ini dia menguruskan, dia yang menguruskan harta peninggalan arwah yang bapanya. Yang ini dia yang sama ada wallahu alam ini dimaksudkan di sini adalah diwakilkan oleh si mati sebelum ini dia meninggal dunia untuk dia menguruskan. Sebab di sini kita harus faham ya, kalau sekiranya seseorang itu ada wasiat, ataupun dia sebelum dia meninggal dunia dia mengatakan, aku mewakilkan fulan bin fulan untuk menguruskan harta peninggalanku, maka orang yang diwakilkan itu menguruskan. Jadi persoalannya di sini adalah ada wujud wasiat daripada si mati ataupun tidak wujud wasiat daripada si mati. Ini adalah soalan yang pertama. Kalau sekiranya ada dan dia kembali kepada orang tersebut, maka dia yang menguruskan. Kalau sekiranya tidak ada, maka ahli waris ini mereka boleh melantik siapa yang layak untuk menguruskan. Dan dalam keadaan seperti ini, memandangkan suami yang bagi orang yang menanya ini merupakan apa yang saya faham anak kepada si mati, maka dia lebih dekat kepada si mati, maka dia menguruskannya. Kalau sekiranya yang lain yang setuju, maka tidak ada masalah untuk dia menguruskan. Menguruskannya tidak ada masalah. Tidak ada masalah di dalamnya. Apa yang wajib adalah dia mesti berlaku adil dan dia mesti mengetahui hukum ahkam ini faraid, bagaimana nak membagikan harta. Orang yang jahil ini tidak boleh menguruskan harta sebab mungkin dia akan menzalimi tanpa dia sedari. Taib, jadi sekarang kita cuba faham ini soalan ini. Dia mengatakan mereka ada 6 beradik. Jadi apa yang saya faham daripada soalan ini, seorang bapa dia meninggal dunia dan dia meninggalkan anak-anak, dan anak-anak ini ada 6. Ini yang saya faham daripada soalan. Salah satu daripada 6 itu yang abang sedang berada di hospital, dan suami bagi orang yang menanya ini menyimpan ini bahagian ni. Dia apa saya faham, suami bagi orang yang menanya ini adalah daripada anak si mati. Jadi dia simpan bahagian abangnya yang berada di hospital. Abang suami ada 2 anak lelaki. Abang suami ada 2 anak lelaki. Ini di sini ada kemusykilan sikit untuk kita memahami ini soalan ini. Sebab apa yang saya faham sekarang, abang suami adalah anak kepada si mati. Sekarang dia menanyakan, abang suami, iaitu salah seorang daripada anak ini si mati, ada 2 anak lelaki. Nampak tak? Maka dia menanyakan soalan di sini, bagaimana mengurus simpanan arwah abang suami? Menguruskan ini faraid ini mereka. Haruskah dibagi pada anak arwah abang untuk menguruskan, ataupun suami saja yang menguruskan pembahagiannya? Maka dalam keadaan seperti ini, yang lebih afdal adalah ahli waris ini yang direct. Apa yang saya faham, orang si mati meninggalkan anak-anaknya, dan anak mereka ada anak. Siapa yang lebih layak ini menguruskan harta? Yakni di kalangan anak ini sendiri. Di kalangan anak ini sendiri. Sebab ini mereka yang merupakan ahli waris. Anak kepada anak dalam keadaan seperti ini bukan tidak mewarisi. Mereka tidak mewarisi sebab ini dimahjubkan dengan wujudnya anak-anak lelaki. Jadi apa saya faham di sini, ada 6 adik-beradik. Ada 6 adik-beradik. Maka harta peninggalan ini diberikan kepada 6 adik-beradik tadi. Diberikan kepada 6 adik-beradik tadi. Salah seorang daripada mereka menguruskannya. Kalau sekiranya yang lain yang setuju misalan, jadi ada 6 adik-beradik. Salah seorang daripada 6 ini dia menguruskan ini harta peninggalan yang si mati. Maka dia memberikan harta peninggalan itu mengikut ini kepada faraid. Itu ceritanya. Dan 2 anak lelaki tadi dia tidak mewarisi. Ini apa yang saya faham daripada soalan. Kalau sekiranya dia 2 anak lelaki ini adalah anak yang ini kepada salah seorang anak yang si mati, maka dia tidak mewarisi sebab ada anak lelaki. Ada anak lelaki dan ada asabah. 2 bahagian diberikan ini kepada anak lelaki, 1 bahagian diberikan kepada anak perempuan kalau sekiranya wujud anak perempuan. Begitu juga kita kena mengambil iktibar, adakah ahli waris yang lain, ini seperti isterinya misalnya, adakah isterinya hidup ke tidak, ibunya misalnya, adakah ibunya hidup ke tidak, bapanya misalnya. Kalau mereka hidup, maka diwajibkan dia memberikan ini kepada bapanya, diberikan bahagian kepada ibunya sebab ibu ada bahagian yang tertentu, bapa ada bahagian yang tertentu. Begitu juga dengan isteri. Kalau sekiranya si mati meninggalkan isteri, kita harus yang ini memberikan bahagian yang ini isteri, baru yang ini kita memberikan yang ini kepada bahagian yang ini anak-anak. Wallahu a'lam ini bissawab. Kita pergi yang ini kepada soalan yang seterusnya. Soalan menanyakan, Assalamualaikum Ustaz. Waalaikumsalam. Can I ask, I learned that to hilangkan najis mutawassita, we must first get rid of the ainun najasa. Then afterwards, any let water flow at that area. Only then it is clean. So I want to ask, I have cats at home and they use any to do their business all over the house. And we have cleaned it all. The smell, color is all gone. But sometimes any they don't do part any of the jariul ma, the water flow. So is it najis hukmi? And how do we proceed any from here? Thank you. Question is basically asking how to remove najis mutawassita. Najis mutawassita in the madhab Imam Shafi'i, it is considered to be a medium filth. In the madhab Imam Shafi'i, filth is divided into three categories. One is mughallada, then we have mutawassita, and we have mukhaffafa. Mughallada yani is dogs and swines. Mukhaffafa is the urine of a baby boy that has not reached 2 years of age, that only drinks any milk. The urine is considered to be mutawassita. The mukhaffafa is considered to be a minor najis. But when it comes into the mutawassita, it is any najis that is other than dogs and swine and the urine of the baby, any infant. So now, when we want to remove any najis, any mutawassita, what is important is we have to remove the three properties. Number one is the smell, the color, and the taste. So when you have urine, for example, on the floor, you have to remove any the urine. You have to remove any the urine and then wash the place until the smell, the color, and the taste is not present anymore. Then we say then the place is clean. This is the thing about mutawassita. How we go about to clean najis that is considered to be medium is by removing all the three properties. So this basically is a general principle that you will find in books of fiqh. But now he is asking that pertaining to animals. Pertaining to animals, number one, we have to understand we got no any ruling in fiqh pertaining to the obligation of animals doing istinja. Animals are animals. What you call it? They have their ways of cleaning themselves. So they are different from us. Pertaining to cats, because now the question is asking that you have cats at home and they use their business all over the house, and sometimes they don't do part of the jariul ma. What I understand from this question is that the balance of the filth that is found on the private parts of the cats. This how I understood the question. I have to explain first how I understood the question. Then inshallah I will answer based on how I understand. Based on how I understood the question. So what I understood is that the questioner is asking that there are traces of filth on the private parts of the cats. The fact that they don't use water, what you call it in istinja, they just lick their private parts, and at times they sit on places in the house. So this person is concerned because to him these are still traces of the najis that is found on the cats. So how does a person make sure that the places in the house is free from all this type of najis? So the thing is this. It is mentioned for example by Sheikh Zainuddin al-Malabari in Fathul Mu'in. It is mentioned that the filth that is present on the private parts of animals, they are forgiven for us. They are forgiven for us unless if you see the filth with your own eyes. For example, if you have cats at home, and for example they what you call it they they do their what you call it their businesses, what is mentioned here, and then after that they sit on the sofa, for example, and then you can see the traces of the filth. You can see the traces of the filth. So this is not forgiven, and it is wajib for you to wash, just like how we speak about removing any najis mutawassita. But if the place any of the part any of the private parts any of the cats, you cannot see traces any of the filth anymore. This is forgiven. I hope it is clear, inshallah. So the author of Fathul Mu'in, for example, he gave an example, and if this animal enters into water, it does not make the water becomes filthy, despite the fact that logically the place any of the private parts, logically they are traces of filth. But this is a thing that is forgiven. So we have to understand, ya jama'ah, in fiqh, there are certain things that are forgiven. There are certain najis that are forgiven. Certain filth that are forgiven. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for people to maintain 100% cleanliness. So this is what you call it difficult for people. Islam gave a way out, and this is one of the things that this kind of filth is forgiven, unless, as what I mentioned, it is ainiyah. You can see in terms of the color, in terms of the smell, for example, on a certain place in your house, then it is wajib for you to remove any filth. So inshallah ta'ala, because of time, we will stop here and we will continue next week. ربنا تقبل دعانا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم واختم بالصالحات أعمالنا وآجرنا يا الله يا كريم بفضل سبحان ربك بالعزة عما يصفون سلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. For those who wants to ask question, and you can see this link below, you can email us your questions, and inshallah I will answer on this platform. And all any questions will be answered online. We don't currently we don't write answers. So if anyone who is asking question do not want the question to be posted on this platform, then we are sorry that we will not answer your question. So I hope it is clear, inshallah. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.